What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 65 of Level Up. This is my Secret World beta review, and probably the last time I will play this game. Find out that and more as we progress through this video. Now, I'm going to be playing a new character for you guys. Not really going to be focusing on the character creation that much because it is not finished, but I want to show you guys the basic entry to this game, even though you won't be able to hear much of the cinematography that this game presents. Now, I do want to note very much so that this game is heavily story-based. So if you are wanting to view sort of the cinematics that go on throughout this entry that you guys are about to watch, definitely go check out my stream, because I shut up through the entire cinematography that this game presents to allow you guys to listen to what I'm experiencing. So if you're one of those people that want to hear that type of thing, this is not the video to do so, because I'm talking about my thoughts and opinions towards this game, not so much letting you listen to what I'm about to be talking about. So we are going to be talking first off about the story of the game, and the story of this game is quite amazing. Now, this is a 3-faction system game that has a lot of voice acting. It's not fully voiced, mostly voiced, but not fully. So what about this game makes the story awesome? I think it's more the fact that it plays off of history. Considering the fact that this is a story-based MMO, we get to see a lot of stuff that happens through these secret societies, such as the Illuminati, the Dragon, or the Templar. So that's really cool. I really like that fact, and as a history buff, it was one of my favorite things about this game. The voice acting carries that as well. The voice acting is phenomenal, and it's really emotional, driven, and it feels like I'm actually talking to someone. And that's something that we don't see in games like SWTOR or Guild Wars 2, where it sort of seems like it's not emotional and very robotic. And that's something that kind of sucks. And I feel that the Secret World did the best job it possibly could about making voice acting what it should be. However, when it comes to dynamic storytelling, you don't really change much of what you do based off of decisions you make. There's not really a lot of, I guess you could say, free flow with this game's story. There's no answers, questions, or anything, because your character does not talk. And that's kind of weird. Your character in this game does not talk. You'll notice that a lot, and it almost makes the conversations drag along a lot. And that's kind of a sad thing, because the conversations are really short and sweet, but since your character's not interacting, it doesn't make it seem that way. It makes it seem like it's a very long cinematic that you really don't care about, and it's very boring. So the voice acting in this game overall is great, and you're going to see the majority of it through the story quests and the green quests that you'll get throughout the game. So how about the cinematography? I guess you could say the cinematics that you'll see as you do the voice acting. How are those? Well, as you see here, this is quite freaking amazing what's going on the screen right now. Basically, you gaining your magic through your secret society, the Templars. Or basically how that fly flew in your mouth. That's basically how you got that. So I think that the cinematics in this game are quite awesome. They're definitely a lot more cinematic and a lot more respecting than, say, SWTORs that are sort of, I don't know, they try to be cinematic but not fully cinematic, where this game plays off the cinematography quite well and definitely presents it quite well as well. So what about the graphics? Now, this is fully shot in game. The graphics right here are not refined, not different, and they definitely seem like they are high quality. But the problem is with this graphic system is it does seem a little dated. It's under the DirectX 11 client. However, it doesn't seem like it is, because even though the lighting's fantastic, everything about this game's graphic system is fantastic. It runs quite well for a beta. But the problem is, it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't try to be that great. I mean, as far as, like, the graphics go, it's not something that's breathtaking, not something that's completely, I guess you could say, unique to its kind, although it is set in a modern setting, which sort of makes it a little different. But, like I said, it's nothing breathtaking, nothing worth noting, and overall, it's not that great. Now, we're going to go ahead and hop into the combat system of this game, and I'll talk about the skill system as well. So let's go ahead and jump. Okay, so now that we're inside the actual game, you guys will get to see a little bit of the in-game graphics that are going on here. And one thing that disturbs me about this game a little bit in its cities, like right now we're in London, is the fact that everything doesn't seem like it's to scale. It really doesn't. I feel like these buildings should be a lot bigger, and I feel like my character should be a lot smaller. I don't know if that's just me or other people as well, but that's one of the things that I sort of grabbed from this whole experience. So we're going to be going ahead and talk with the Prophet here, and I'm going to basically cut to gameplay of the combats here very shortly, so that way you guys could see, and I could talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Alright, so now that we are in a combat sequence, let's go ahead and talk with this lady and get our ground zero quest that you get at the beginning of the game. Now this game is solely based off of weapons. That's basically the type of classes that you'll get to experience, and that's kind of cool. I like how they did that. I like how they made that entire system. And basically how that's based is you get to pick your class: blades, hammers, fists, blood magic, chaos, elementalism, shotguns, pistols, assault rifles. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But what's really cool is you can mix and match those and sort of play it as a deck of cards. And so you get to pick 2 different weapons, whether that be a sword, shotgun, blood magic, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to intertwine with each other to make work. It's what you get to experience, and I think that's really cool. You get to make your own class. And based off of that, you get 7 active skills, which are your bar right here, and then 7 passive skills. And based off of how you combine them, just like a deck of cards, you're either going to make it a very efficient deck of cards or a very lackluster deck of cards. And it's all based off of what works together, what you play like, and just overall what the class will end up being. So you see here that the combat overall seems like it's very cool. It's very action-packed, stuff like that. However, on the surface it does seem that way. But as you start playing it, the game becomes a lot more shallow when it's combat. It starts becoming very boring, not as action-packed, and overall it doesn't feel like it's a 2012 game. It feels like it's a 2005, 2006 game where the combat's very loose, like World of Warcraft, but it's not, you don't dodge, you don't do anything other than maybe moving out of AoE every once in a while. So I feel that the very big con about this game is it feels like it's very old just from the combat. Now that's just one of my little nitpicks. It's actually a big nitpick because it's one of the major things about this game, and sadly it actually makes me not want to kill stuff in this game. It really does. And I'm a type of person who loves Korean games. I like playing grinders, even though that some grinders are way too much for me, aka Ion on release. I love to kill stuff. I really do. I love to find new ways to do it. I love to have fun going through a game, do kill quests, do side quests, do a bunch of different stuff, and get into the action. However, this game does not make me want to do that. It makes me just want to listen to a story. And that's good if the story was the entire game. However, it's not. And that's one of the things that this game really gets its ass kicked on. Because since the story is not the game, you don't have anything else to back you up. And this game's combat is very lackluster. It's very boring. It's very uneventful. And overall, it's nothing that is groundbreaking whatsoever. You know, even in looking at the skill system, it really isn't either. You have a skill system that is unique to its kind, of course. But the problem with this skill system is the fact that it's in 2012, where everybody's trying to do something different. Where if this game was released 1 or 2 years ago, it would have been forward thinking and a lot more people would appreciate it. But I think now that a lot of people are trying to do that, they're trying to change the class system, they're trying to get rid of leveling, they're trying to do all this different stuff that makes nonsense to the genre, it really doesn't show up as much as it should. The class system in this game does not show up as much as it should. And that is really sad. Because at the beginning of this game, you get to pick what different weapon you want to start out with. You get to build it. You get to intertwine it with another weapon you may discover. And you get to level your character based off of that. Now, this game doesn't have true leveling where it's a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. You fill up an experience bar and you get different points. And the different points go into the different sectors of this tree. And based off whatever you want to go off of, like Delicate Strike, you get to go click buy. And that shows up in your equipped actives. And you get a passive. Do the same thing, equip the passives. You'll intertwine them how you want. Skill points, same sort of thing. You sort of increase what you want to sort of be, and what you want to equip. Head talismans, major talismans, minor talismans, and you make your character how you want it. However, if you don't want to do this and you want to just go into a preset, there's decks available that sort of tell you where to go. Like I could be a Magus and it tells me exactly where I want to go here. I go shotgun, control, I buy this, one there, and then I keep building up here. So, I mean, there's a lot of cool things about this game as far as its skill system goes, but it's a lot of stuff that we expect nowadays, and that's kind of a bad thing. And I feel very bad for the developers of this game because they sort of screwed themselves releasing it this late. If they would have released it 1 year earlier or even 2 years earlier, this game would be groundbreaking, very original, and unique to its kind because it is a modern day MMO. It does have a lot of cool features, but the combat is so lacking that it just fucks everything up its ass. And I hate to say it like that, but it does. I feel that this game would be a hell of a lot more enjoyable if it wasn't so old. And that's one of the things, that it feels very old. The combat feels very old. The graphics look very old, even though they look pretty good. They don't look anywhere near what they should in 2012. And I'm running on the DirectX 11 client on max settings with anti-copyright filtering on top of that. So, I mean, it's not really that great looking overall. And that's one of the sad things about this game. Another thing that I want to complain about is the questing system. Now, you're going to see the intro to the game. I'm not really showing you guys the side quests that much, but basically what you get is you get a variety of different types of quests in this game. You get your blue quests, which are your main story quests, which is what we're doing right now. You get your gray quests, which are side quests that you'll find on the floor, like a severed hand or whatever, trying to figure out where that came from, or a suicide note, trying to figure out if the person killed themselves or not yet. Just different minuscule bullshit tasks like that. And then you have your green quests, which are your puzzle quests, in my opinion. That's what I like to call them. They're puzzle quests, where you sort of uncover a mystery or try and follow something, and it doesn't hold your hand. You really have to search for clues throughout the world and try and figure it out yourself. There's no quest helper, so to speak, for these quests. And then you have red quests, which are like task quests, where they make you go gather stuff, kill stuff, test stuff, just minuscule stuff like that. So there's a lot of different varieties of quests in this game, but they all follow the same XYZ questing system. However, the positive of this is that this game does make you feel like you're doing something. It really does. Like, every time I go through a different story, I get to experience why they're making me do it, and what's the outcome of it. Am I helping someone? Am I making their defenses stronger? Am I trying to, recover a mystery and figure out what's going on in a town? It's really cool how this questing system goes about and tells you a story, but it makes you go through a lot of bullshit to get that story in the end. And that's kind of sad. I feel that it's 2012, you could at least try to cover it up a little bit, rather than just giving us random XYZ quests that we really do not care that much about. And that's one of the things that I really don't like when people say it, but this game is so prominent in showing it that it really is hard not to talk about. So that's another con about the questing system in this game. Even though it is a good job of rewarding you in the end, getting there is a painful and old dinosaur process.
I think that's bad news.
So what are my overall thoughts about the game? I've already talked about the graphics, how sort of good they are, but they look pretty old. They look like they could be a lot better, and they look like they should be way better for 2012 quality. I've already talked about the gameplay with the combat, the type of quests, all that stuff. I talked about the voice acting, how the voice acting is amazing, emotional, and probably the best I've ever seen in an MMO. And I've just talked about overall what I felt about the game. And I feel that overall this game is not worth a sub. I feel like it will go into a niche market, maybe capture about, I don't know, a maximum of 1 million subscribers or whatever for a niche community who wants a modern day MMO with secret societies. I just don't feel that this game will be out there to a large scale, and I don't really think that in the end it will be worthwhile for the masses to enjoy. I mean, even though the soundtrack's great, which is another thing I want to add, it really doesn't carry this game's atmosphere that much, because the atmosphere in this game is great. It really is. But the story and atmosphere can only carry a game so far before an outdated combat system screws you in the end. In this game's combat system really does screw it in the end. You have games like Guild Wars 2 and Terra trying to revolutionize that, and then you go back a step with the Secret World. And it's really not that great, and it's really not that forward thinking of FunCom to do, because Age of Conan was a lot more action-packed combat system than this game ever will be. So in my opinion, this game is it's decent. It's not worth $15 a month. It will be going free to play soon, probably. This game will start out as a box fee of $50 and a sub fee at $15 a month. But my estimates are by 2013 it will go free to play, since FunCom already knows how profitable free to play can be. They've already made Age of Conan, one of their past pay to play games, free to play, and it just blew up with sales, with profits, and it made them very happy. So it's probably already in the back of their mind, and I really don't see them lasting till 2013 with this game pay to play. So hopefully they do take the free to play route with this game in 2013. I don't expect them to do it anytime sooner than that. And for all you guys wondering if this is a pay to play game, it is. I'm just sort of thinking ahead. I think that this game in the end will go free to play, which will kind of suck, because a lot of people who bought the game, paid for it for maybe 3 or 4 months, will feel like they just got screwed. But anyways, that is it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this beta review of The Secret World. Hit that like button if you did, and leave me a comment down below. Do you want to see a modern day MMO, or do you feel that fantasy will carry the genre much farther? Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/LugoEntertainment, twitter.com/ZachSharps. And that is it for me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my beta review of The Secret World for episode number 65 of Level Up. And we woke up in London. So that's it for me. Catch you guys next time.